Hello, welcome to our Yin Gentle Flow yoga class. I'm happy to be with you all again. So we haven't practiced together before, I'm Kim. So for this practice, you might want to have some props and whatever you have available to you. If you have a blanket, if you like to have something to cushion your knees, great. If you have anything like a block, book, something else, and also you might want a pillow or something resembling a yoga bolster. So something like a bed pillow is perfect size if you want to grab anything to support you during this practice. All right. Okay, so as we move through this practice, it'll be a slow flow, deep stretches, okay? And just do as much as you're comfortable with. If you need to modify something, definitely do it. Okay, if ever you want to take a break from the practice, you can always come into a child's pose. It's a great place to rest. Amazing. I'm so happy to have you all join. Okay, so when you're ready, you can come onto your mat. If you have something to sit on that's comfortable to elevate your hips, put that in place. Find a spot to rest your hands. Let your arms relax. And once you're settled into your seated position, we'll just take a few moments here to center. Close your eyes. Start to connect to your breathing. Breathing in and out through your nose. Taking fuller inhales. Slowing down the exhale. Your inhales, creating space and length. Your exhales, breathing out any tension you're conscious of. Your chin tucks slightly so the back of your neck is long. Relaxing your shoulders down, sliding shoulder blades down your back. And guiding your shoulders back so they align above your hips. And the weight of your torso grounding down into your sit bones. Okay, so as you move through this practice, let your breath be your guide. As you explore the poses, if you feel like you're reaching a point where you feel like you're reaching your edge, or you get to a point where you feel like the breath becomes more shallow, okay? Try pulling back a little bit and find a place where you have that ease of breath. Okay, so we'll stay in our seated position. Let your chin drop down to your chest, and we'll just draw half circles with the chin. Guiding your chin slowly to the right shoulder, down to the center of your chest, and moving it over to the left. Keep going, slowly guide your chin from one shoulder to the other. If you feel like you encounter an exceptionally tight spot, pause there and take a full breath. Next time you have right ear towards right shoulder, pause there. You can rest the right hand on top of your head, just the weight of your hand, adding really subtle pressure. Left fingertips reach down beside the left hip. Walk fingertips away from you, keep it there, or take the left arm behind your back. We'll breathe here for about 5 slow deep breaths. You can stay here in stillness. Want to add a little movement, you can gently rock your chin up and down. Guide your chin down to the bottom corner of the room and up to the top, and just lifting an inch, maybe 2, that gentle rocking motion, or simply allow your ear to fall towards your shoulder. So we'll breathe here for another 3. 2. The arms release, roll your chin down to the center of your chest, and take it over to the other side. Left ear to left shoulder, left hand can rest on top. Right fingertips reach beside you, walk your fingertips away, keep it there, or take that arm behind. So either staying here in stillness or adding that gentle rocking motion with your chin. And just moving an inch, not much more. And stay with your breath. And breathe into that little stretch. Breathe here for another 3. 2. Release the hands, roll your chin down to the center of your chest. If you have eyes closed, a few blinks to open your eyes and lift your gaze back up. If you are sitting cross-legged, you can consider changing how you cross your legs just to balance your hips. We'll come into a little side stretch. Right hand down beside your right hip. Left arm reach to the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, reach it over to the right. Keep the left hip anchored down. If you feel like you need to get lower, right elbow could bend. You could even come down to your forearm, making sure that left hip isn't lifting up. Breathe here for 3. 2. Let an inhale lift you to center, and we'll go to the other side. Left hand down, right fingertips reach up. Inhale. Exhale, reach over to the left. Maybe you're coming a little bit lower, keeping the right sit bone grounded down. Plug the right arm back into that shoulder. Breathe here for 3. 2. Let an inhale carry you up to center. Reaching the arms out in front of you, shoulder height. 1 sec. Okay. Make it a little more zen without carpets. And so we'll reach the arms out in front, shoulder height, and take the right arm under your left. Hold opposite shoulder, so that can be your arm position, or twist your arms together. Palms connect, thumbs point towards your nose. So you choose whatever feels better for the shoulders. Elbows pull out and up. And we'll guide the elbows up an inch and down an inch. An inch or two, just that subtle movement. Breathing into the space in between your shoulder blades, the back of your heart. So we'll work through this, breathing here for 3. 2. And release the arms, shoulders, give them a release, roll the shoulders forward and back. And bring fingertips on top of your shoulders. Guide the elbows together in front of you, or as close as they'll come. We're going to draw circles with the elbows, guiding the elbows down, back, and around. Just warming up the shoulders. We'll work through another rotation. And the next time you have elbows back at center, change the direction of those circles. Guide the elbows up, back, and around. Keeping the elbows as close together in front of you for as long as possible. Your pace, work through another rotation. And once you've completed that, release. Shake it off. Arms reach out in front of you. The left arm goes under, hold opposite shoulders, or wrap your arms. Thumbs point towards the nose. Elbows pull away from you. Puff that space between your shoulder blades back. Okay, and then guide the elbows up and down. Just subtle movements. And breathe. Breathe here for 3. 2. And release. Shoulders, you can roll them them forward and back, give them a little release. Okay. We'll take this into tabletop position, rolling over your knees. If you want to give your knees a little more cushioning, if you have something, put it in place. If you have the yoga mat, you can fold it over again so your knees have a little more cushion. We'll flow through cat and cow stretches. Okay. From tabletop position, with an exhale, tuck your chin, scoop your tailbone under, puff your back up towards the ceiling. Then your inhale, tilt your tailbone, arch your back, looking forward, maybe looking up. Exhale, push the mat away, hollow your front body. Your inhale, tailbone tilts. As you continue to flow through that motion, work with your breath. Exhales as you round, inhales as you arch. And the next time you're in cat pose, the rounded position, pause there, keep it. We'll add a little more side to side movement to this. Roll your rib cage to the right, okay? Your left hip, your left shoulder move towards each other, and then dropping your rib cage, moving into that little back bend, lift your chest. Okay? The rib cage rolls to the left, right hip, right shoulder towards each other, and then puffing your back up towards the ceiling. So continue rolling rib cage to the right, down, around to the left, and puffing back up. And keep breathing as you work through this. Just warming up the spine, get that energy flowing. And the next time you're in that neutral cat pose, rounded, change the direction. Roll your rib cage to the left, down, around to the right, and puff up to the ceiling. And keep going, coordinating with your breathing as much as you can. And work through another round, maybe two. And once you find yourself back in that cat position, relax to a neutral spine. We'll come into a lunge, the right foot stepping forward. So if you have blocks or something like it, you might want them nearby. You don't need them for this. Right here, hands walk up onto the right thigh and allow your hips to shift forward and down. So we're getting into the front of the left hip, left thigh. If it helps you to ease into this, you can rock your hips gently forward and back. And keep the shoulders soft. And we'll breathe here for 5. 4. 3. 2. Let your fingertips come down either side of the right leg. So this is where using blocks can sometimes make it a little bit more accessible to us. So if you have props, you might be reaching to the props. Shifting hips back, work the front leg straighter. There can always be a bend in that knee. Inhale, a little lift your chest. And exhale, coming forward, folding over that leg. We'll breathe here for 5. Squaring the hips, guide right hip back, push left hip forward. 4. Reaching your chest forward through your arms. 3. 2. Bringing the arms on the inside of right leg. Again, bend the right knee, move the hips forward. We're gonna add a little more hip opening to this. The right foot turns out 45 degrees and allow your right leg to wing out to the side. So that might mean the inside edge of your foot lifts off the mat, that's fine. Movement comes from your hip, not from the knee, not from the ankle. This can be enough if you wanna get lower. You could bring your forearms to a prop. You could bring your forearms to the mat to add a little more twist. Right forearm can rest on right thigh, look over that right shoulder. And then another variation optional. Maybe you start to bend the back knee. That can be enough to intensify stretch. If you're there, maybe the right hand reaches back, looks for your foot. Bending the knee, you should still get that stretch. Breathe here for 3. 2. Lower that back leg. Turning back into center. Right knee centers over that ankle. Walking the hands a little ways to the left. Your torso angled out about 45 degrees away from the right leg. And begin to walk your fingertips away from you. Let your heart melt down. And we'll breathe here for 3. 2. And lifting your head, hands walking closer to you. Back knee, tuck the toes, lift it up, and turning your toes to face the side edge of the mat. We'll set up for a wide-legged forward fold. Both feet turn in a little bit. If the mat feels far away from you, try stepping a little bit wider. If it feels too close, bring the feet a little closer together. Look up, lengthen your torso, and exhale, begin to fold. Elbows may start to bend. You might start to walk the hands a little further back. The crown of your head lengthening forward and down. We'll breathe here for 3. 2. Inhaling halfway up. Right hand below your face. Again, maybe to a prop. Reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Twist it out. Notice if that arm falls behind you, keep it forward slightly. Let that twist come from the center of your torso, your low ribs. We'll breathe here for 3. 2. And turning back into center. Left hand replaces the right, right arm, sweep it up, twist. Breathe for 3. 2, left collarbone turning to the ceiling and turning back into center. Both feet turn to the front, hands either side of the right foot, and stepping back into downward dog. Okay, so you can step into downward dog. If you want child's pose instead, take it there. Okay, if your choice is downward dog, maybe walking it out, pedal the heels, let the back of your legs start to warm up a little more, open up. Relax your neck, let your head be heavy. Breathing into your back body, another breath or 2. We'll make our way into our lunge, other side. The left foot comes forward, and gently drop the right knee. Give that back knee some cushion if you crave it. Hands up onto the left thigh. Send the hips forward and down. Okay, maybe rocking the hips gently. Okay, we'll breathe here for about 5. Okay, notice if you're leaning forward. Try to lean back. Let the weight of your torso sink down over the hips. 4. 3. 2. Bring fingertips to the mat. If you have props, you can reach to the props. Shifting hips back, work the left leg straighter. Inhale, little lift of your torso, lengthen your spine. Exhale, send your heart forward. Focus on coming forward before you start to come down. Flex the left foot, toes pull back towards your face. We'll take about 3 more deep breaths. Breathe into the back of left leg. 2. arms come to the inside of left leg. Again, bend that knee, move the hips forward. So you might be practicing this on your forearms. We'll add a little more hips. Left foot turns out. Allow the left leg to wing out to the side, making sure your knee feels safe, moving just from the hip. You could rest the left forearm on that thigh, look over left shoulder, bring a little more twist, and then completely optional if you want to bend the back knee. Maybe your left hand reaches back, looks for your foot. If you have a strap or something, you can create that connection if you choose. And so breathe here for about 3 more breaths. 2. Turning back into center. Center the left knee. Important, track that knee over the left ankle. Hands walk over to the right side of your mat. And begin to walk your fingertips away from you. You let your heart melt down. You will breathe here for 3. 2. Lifting your head, hands walking closer to you. Back foot, toes tuck. Lift the back knee, and again, turn your toes so you're facing towards the side. Have a little bend in both knees. Hands to your hips. We'll come up to standing. So we're going to come into our forward fold again. We'll incorporate a little more shoulders. Reach the arms out shoulder height, interlacing fingers behind your back. So other options, you could hold on to a strap. It could be a belt, a towel, it could be anything. Hold that behind you if that suits you better. Have the hands wider than shoulder distance, or hold on to opposite elbows behind your back. Okay? Whatever arm position works the best. Inhale, a little lift through your chest, and exhale, begin to fold. Okay? There can always be a soft little bend in the knees. And with every exhale, relax your shoulders. Be mindful with your balance, leaning forward a tiny, tiny bit. Soften your low back. So breathe here for another 3. 2. The head stays low. Hands return back to your hips. Release the grip of your hands, placing hands down to the mat. Inhale, coming up part way. Toes turn to the front of your mat. Hands frame that front foot, stepping back to downward dog or taking your child's pose. Okay, if you are choosing down dog, relax those shoulders. Again, maybe you're walking it out. Okay, whatever your practice is, breathe into the back of your body. And we'll all meet up in child's pose. If you're in downward dog, gently drop the knees. Separate your knees about mat distance, big toes together. Send the hips back towards your heels. Let your head rest down. Okay, so a way you may prop this, if you have a pillow, if you want that underneath your chest to support, and give yourself the space to drop your head down with ease of breath. The arms could stay forward. You could take the hands back towards your feet. Whatever your body craves right now. And in your child's pose, visualize the lengthening of your spine. Like you're creating more space in between every bone, every vertebrae. So breathe right here in our child's pose for 3. 2. With the arms out ahead of you, we'll blend in a little side stretch. Hands walk over to the right. reach through left fingertips. Look for a little stretch along the left side of your body. Maybe the left hand comes over top of your right. And keep sending hips back towards your heels. And we'll breathe here for 3. 2. And hands walk back through center, heading over to the other side. Hands walk to the left. Reach through right fingertips, find a little right side body lengthening. And we'll breathe here for 3. 2. Walking back to center, head lifts. Lifting your hips, coming into a tabletop position. You can walk the knees in a little closer, and we'll come right up into a kneeling position. Lifting your torso up, stack shoulders over hips, over knees. We'll come into a little side bend. You might turn to the side edge of your mat for space. The right foot steps out 45 degrees, and we're going to align the ankle and the left knee. Left foot, toes tucked or untucked, you pick. Right arm out onto the right leg, palm open to the ceiling. Left fingertips, reach up, inhale. And exhale, reach over to the right. And coming into that little side bend. Okay, full breaths here. We'll breathe here for 3. 2. Left hand circles down. Walk the hands out ahead of you. So we're going to come into something like half child's pose. The left toes, if you can, tuck them under. It's a little bit of a toe opener. If it feels really uncomfortable, keep the toes pointing back. Sending the hips back towards your left heel. Let your head come down towards the floor. The right foot, you can work on gluing the sole of your right foot down or choosing to flex that foot. And we'll breathe here for 5. 4. 3. 2 more full breaths. Lifting your head, moving the hips forward. Hands walk to the left. Left hand below that shoulder. Right arm, reach it up to the ceiling, reaching up and then reaching overhead. Lengthen along your entire right side body. We'll breathe here for 3. Gaze wherever you feel comfortable with your balance. 2. And circling the right hand down. Walking back to center, tabletop. Slide the right knee in and lift your torso right up. And we'll go into our gate pose, other side. Left foot steps out to the side, toes turn out about 45 degrees. Left arm out onto that leg, palm open. Right fingertips reach, inhale. And exhale, reach it over to the left. Full breaths here for 3. 2, little opening of your chest towards the ceiling. Let the right hand circle down, walking the hands out ahead of you. So choosing whether you can tuck the right toes under or keep them pointing back. Pushing hips back towards the right heel. And choosing for the left foot if you keep the toes pointed or if you hard flex that foot. And we'll breathe here for a 5. If you have your props, if they help you, you can use them in any way that makes sense. Okay? If having the left leg straight is a lot, you can always do just regular child's pose with both knees down. We'll breathe here for another 3. 2. Lifting your gaze, sending the hips forward. Hands walk over to the right. Right hand below that shoulder. Left arm to the ceiling. Inhale. And then reach it overhead. Your entire left side body, about a 45-degree angle. Doesn't have to be precise as long as you're feeling that lengthening for the left side of your body. And we'll breathe here for 3. 2. Let the left hand circle down, walking the hands back to center. Slide the left knee in. And from here, we'll come into seated. You can swing the legs around and come into seated on your mat. Extend the legs straight out ahead of you. Shake it off if it feels good. And we'll come into a spinal twist. The left leg stays straight. Bending the right knee, sole of your right foot onto the mat. Right foot, a little step out to the right side. Have some space between right foot and left leg. Right hand behind your back for support. Inhale, reach the left arm to the ceiling, grow tall. And exhale, take it across, look over the right shoulder and twist. You can cradle the right knee into the crease of your elbow. In your practice, maybe you take the elbow right across. We'll breathe here for 5. Left leg active for this one. As you push the left leg down into the mat, let that encourage you to sit up even straighter, even taller. Your exhale, wring out the air, twist. Okay, breathing as deeply as you can in a twist. We're here for another 3. 2. Returning through center, hands to the left side of the mat, and bowing towards that side, just a little counter twist. And facing forward, let the right knee fall out to the side. Sole of your right foot connects to left inner thigh. If you want to support the right leg, blanket, pillow, block, anything works if you want to support that leg. If you want to maintain a bend in the left knee, same thing. You can slide a prop underneath that knee. We'll do a passive variation of this pose. You can let the left leg relax for this one. Your foot might fall out to the sides. Fingertips either side of that leg. Start to walk your fingertips forward. Let your head come down. Okay, so we'll take a little bit of time in this forward fold. If you're using a lot of energy to hold that forward position, if you're practicing on a yoga mat, okay, you can take the back edge of the mat, roll it up, and tuck it underneath your hips, and just the back edge to naturally encourage you to tip forward. And so you may close your eyes while you're here. Just breathe into the back of your body, breathe into where you're feeling that stretch the most. Without external force, just consciously lengthening that right knee out away to the side, lengthen right inner thigh, the crease of right hip. Softening your low back, relaxing around both hips. So just taking a little time practicing this pose Yin style, okay, where we take a more passive approach and we spend a little bit longer in the pose, giving our bodies a chance to open up a little bit more, a little bit deeper. you are. Let's take 2 breaths together. Your nose, take an inhale. Your mouth, exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release. Slow. Begin to roll your torso back up. Right hand could guide the right knee back to center. Send that leg out straight. Shake it off if it feels good. And we'll set up for our twist, other side. Right leg active for this one. Bend the left knee. Left heel comes in as close to that hip as you can. And a little step out to the left side with that foot. Left hand behind your back. Right arm, reach the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, take it over into your twist, gazing over the left shoulder. And we'll take about 5 breaths here. For chin tuck slightly so the back of your neck is long. 3. 2. Returning through center. Hands over to the right. Now towards that side of your mat. Counter twist. And coming back to face forward. Let the left knee fall to the side if you want to support that leg. We're going to fold over the right leg. It's the same thing. If you want to have a little bend in the knee, support it with a prop. Let the right ankle relax. Hands ahead of you, start to walk your fingertips forward. So as long as rounding your back is a safe position for your spine, if that's what happens for this one, that's fine. And look for a spot where your arms can rest, your elbows heavy. If you're comfortable with it, close your eyes and just be present with your breathing. Check in to see if there's any muscle energy you're holding on to. Anything that you don't need to hold right now. And if you find that, you work with your exhales, breathe it out, release it. Relaxing around both hips. So we're breathing here for about 10, 12 more slow and full breaths. Together, let's take 2 breaths. Your nose, deep inhale. Your mouth, exhale. One more full breath in. Take another sip of air. Exhale, release. And moving slow. Start to roll your torso back up. If you have the pillow, set it off to your right side. Bringing the soles of both feet onto the mat. Let your knees fall from side to side. Give your hips, your legs a little release. So we'll take this into a twist. Your feet separated about mat distance apart. Let the knees fall to the right sides. We'll bring the hands to the right. turning towards the back edge of the mat. When you feel you're starting to reach the limit of that twist, let your torso come down. You can do this with or without support of a prop. Turning your head in whatever direction feels best. If it's comfortable for you to bring the twist right up into your neck, head can turn to the right. You can do this forehead down, or keep the head turned to the left. If you're not feeling this stretch along the left side of your body, you can try turning deeper into that twist. Another adjustment, the left knee slides further back and your right foot holds it in place. Again, you can close your eyes here. Spend a little time. Let your arms, your shoulders rest. Let your torso be heavy. Picture creating more distance, more space between the left hip and left shoulder. Breathe into that space. And with every exhale, let go. After spending some time here, notice if the sensation of the pose changes. If you feel the stretch becoming more subtle, or if you feel it intensifying, maybe you feel that stretch moving into different areas. Breathing into our twist, let's take 2 breaths together. Your nose, full inhale. Your mouth, exhale, breathe it out. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale, release. So take your time with this. Bring a little energy into your arms and start to press your torso back up. Turning back into center. Knees point to the ceiling. Okay, so before we head to the other side, you might windshield wiper the knees. You could extend legs straight, shake it off. Okay, if you're using a pillow or support, slide it towards the other side of the mat, and that's where we'll head. Feet separated about mat distance. Let the knees gently drop to the left. Okay, the hands come to the left, turning towards the back edge of your mat. When you feel you're reaching the limit of that twist, let your torso come down. And choose the direction you're turning your head. Okay, so if you need more, turn a little further into that twist. Okay, or right knee can slide further back. Your left foot holds it in place. Okay, if you need to cushion any spots, hips, ankles, knees, and if you have a blanket, you can put that cushioning in place. Okay, or whatever feels good for you. It doesn't really matter how the pose looks. As long as you're finding that lengthening for the right side of your body, that's all you need. So try to let your arms relax. Your hands could be a pillow for your head. In this twist, you might feel your breath a little bit restricted. Try to breathe into your front, back, and side ribs. And with your exhale, softening more. Taking a few more full breaths on this side. Together, let's take 2 breaths. Your nose, a deep inhale. Your mouth, exhale, release. Once more, deep breath in. And exhale. Take it slow, bringing a little energy back into your arms, making your way back to center. And once you're centered, work through a little movement, windshield wiper the knees, maybe extend the legs straight, shake it off, whatever feels good for you. We're going to head down onto our back. So if you like to have a low pillow, you can put something in place. If you have a blanket, fold it a few times, it's a perfect height. Bending your knees, soles of your feet onto the mat. You can hold behind your knees, scoop your tailbone, walking your hands down the back of your thighs to lower yourself back slowly. Melt your low back into the mat and gently resting your head back once you've lowered completely. Once you're all the way down, you can bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a little hug. If it feels good, you can rock from side to side. So we're going to come into a little mini sequence on our backs. What might help you for this is a strap. If you feel like you have tight hamstrings, a strap could help you out. So if you have that available, great, bring it nearby. If you don't, I'll guide you through some propless variations. We'll keep the right knee in and step the sole of your left foot down. Okay? You can keep the left knee bent or choose to slide the left leg out straight. Holding just here, taking deep abdominal breaths. Every exhale guides the right knee a little bit closer to the right shoulder. We'll breathe right here for 3. Right knee angled out just slightly. 2. Coming into half happy baby. Right arm on the inside of right leg, grabbing onto the outside edge of your foot, your ankle, or this is where you could use a strap. Loop the strap around the sole of your right foot, hold with your right hand, and kicking the sole of your right foot up towards the ceiling. In a propless variation, you can hold with right hand behind your knee, back of your thigh. Left knee may stay bent, or if you have the left leg out straight, left hand putting gentle pressure on the left thigh. Encourage that left leg to stay anchored down. Hips even. So the right knee, it's not expected to touch the mat. Doesn't have to get anywhere close. And all you need to do is breathe. Breathe right here for 3. As much as possible, right ankle stacks over that knee. 2. And then releasing right hand, we'll come to a twist. Left leg straight, change your grip. Left hand holds the right knee. Right arm out onto the ground, shoulder height, and begin to guide the right knee over towards the left side of your mat, looking over the right shoulder. If you have props that you want to bring in to support right shin, you can put them in place. Right shin doesn't have to touch the mat. And again, you can close your eyes here and just breathe into that twist. Okay, your inhales as deep as possible. And your exhales slow and even. Breathe here for another 3. 2. Inhaling the right leg back to center, sliding the right leg down straight. So if you need to center your hips, center your shoulders, you can take a few breaths of rest here. Start our transition to the other side. If you need to ground the low back, bend your knees, scoop your tailbone, anchor the low back, and then both knees come into your chest to start. Okay, keeping the left knee in, step the sole of your right foot down. Okay, so choosing whether the right leg stays bent or you slide that leg out straight. And we're breathing right here for 3. Left knee towards the left shoulder. 2. And half happy baby. Left arm on the inside. Left hand grabs onto the outside edge of your foot, your ankle, or the strap, or you're holding behind the left knee, back of your thigh. Start to aim the sole of your left foot up towards the ceiling. If you have the right leg straight, right hand puts a little pressure down on the right thigh. Encourage the back of your right thigh to move towards the mat. And continue to soften your low back, even a hip, so you're not rocking to the left or to the right. And we'll breathe here for another 3. 2. Release and change your grip. Right hand holds the left knee, right leg is straight. Left arm out onto the floor, shoulder height or slightly below. And guiding the left knee over towards the right side of your mat. Okay, so you might be propping your twist. Okay, if you feel the left shoulder lifting, put a little pressure into the right arm. Encourage that left shoulder blade to ground a little more. And taking full breaths into your twist. Deep cleansing breaths. And we'll breathe here for 3. 2. 1. Start to guide the left leg back to center. Both feet onto the mat. Center your hips, center your shoulders, and taking both knees into your chest one more time. So you might lift your nose up between your knees. You can hug into a little ball. You could rock. And go through any movements that feel good for your body. We're going to head into our final resting pose, into our Shavasana. And come onto your mat, get comfortable lying down. Okay, if you feel chilly at all, if you have a sweater or socks, get cozy so that you can relax. If you have wall space and you like to practice legs up the wall, you can definitely take that as your final resting pose. So once you've settled into rest, close your eyes. Begin to let it all go. Let your head become a little bit heavier. Soften your forehead. Relaxing your jaw, you may part your lips slightly. Soften your shoulders, elbows, wrists. And allowing the natural rhythm of your breath, observing the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. Relaxing around the hips. Soften your thighs, knees, ankles. And let every natural exhale release you deeper into a state of relaxation. Taking this time with yourself. Let your body, your mind rest in that peaceful stillness. Soak up, absorb the benefits from this time you made to be on your mat. We'll enjoy a minute of silence, stillness, here in our Shavasana. Gently start to pull your awareness back to your surroundings, back to your breath, taking your breath a little bit deeper, a little bit fuller. You can start to introduce subtle movement, move energy down to your feet, wiggle your toes, energy into your hands, wiggle your fingers. You can slowly rock your head, gently massage along the back of your head. And if you'd like, waking up with a stretch. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, reach your fingers, reach your toes. Exhale. And so if you're on your back, bending your knees, roll on to one side. And take all the time you need, pressing up into a seated position. Okay. Thanks to each of you for joining me on the mat today. My name is Kim. You can find me Practice with Kim if you want to connect, and I hope that we get to practice again together soon. Have an amazing weekend.